Hey, once again, a great day once again. It's a great, absolutely fantastic day. Understand, love, family. Family of one, this is the Melanin Man, aka a voice of consciousness coming to you once again on this Memorial Day 2022. Today is what, the 30th? Yeah, it's the 30th of May 2022, Memorial Day. All right, so memorializing what, you might ask? Well, I'm saying, and what I'm speaking about today is what? It is the peace of mind that you have, excuse me, the peace of mind that you have, what bit you can acquire, well, really it's with you already. So today I'm speaking on, is your heart as light as a feather? Is your heart as light as a feather? You know, we know about Mayat, and listen, I don't give a whole lot of historiological background, because you have it all. You are already infused and encoded with all of the history throughout time in the DNA. You have trillions, tens of trillions of cells that has the memory of all the lifetimes. So I don't need to go and say, get this book, go do this research, study this, lead you into anywhere, give you scrappings and tidbits and segmented data for you to research, so that you can find who you are. You are who you are already. You found yourself. The question is, how confident are you with what you are and what you found within yourself? It's not about me giving you, the scholar, the lecturer, the teacher, the wise sage that you already are. It's not for me to give you what you already have. Let's be clear. You got to know, the game has been played in such a way that you've been deceived and misled. And it's only because you chose to be so. It's not because they have more power, or they're smarter, or any of that. They've utilized protocols and doctrines and fairy tales and mundane stories to charge your imagination, twist your thought processes around ideas that are not yours. These ideas aren't yours. You didn't come here with this idea that you have to compete, that you have to prove, that you have to convince and be, what's the word I'm looking for? Convinced, compete, the other word I'm looking for, oh boy, it escapes me right now. Confirmed, verified, affirmed, and validated. You didn't come here to do any of that. I'm not doing this to get validation from anyone. If you like it, cool. If you don't like it, cool. It's not going to change me and what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And it's not for you. It's for me to really touch the heart, to really identify with that source that I am already. The sacred soul that is the all that is, that resides in me, my little piece of the rock, so to speak. I am aligning myself with that knowing, just as you can, just as you are. It's not for me to say you are or you aren't. It's not for me to say you did or you didn't. It's not up to me. It's not about me telling you anything. It's about you telling you, paying attention to what you're telling yourself. Because you talk to yourself. Whether you'll admit it or not, you'll talk to yourself daily. Whether you admit it or not, you are in direct connection with the all that you already are. And there's no book physically outside of you that's going to get you to your highest self, that's going to resonate with you at your apex. It does not exist. Not outside. Not outside of you. There's a conscious streaming of energetic resonance that you already are, and you're tuned in. Now, are you turned on? Now, turn it up. Because we're in that time now. We're in that time where we ought to turn this thing up. Me saying, me trying to prove to you, I got this from, excuse me, I got this information from this source. I went over, get this book. Excuse me. It is not about a book. Hell, you're the book. If it's about a book, then open up the pages of your soul. You have trillions, tens of trillions of cells. Go in one by one. Extract the information, the memory that contains within, and be about the task of resurrecting yourself. That's what this is all about. No one's going to give you anything. No one's going to give you anything. And if they give you something, you better be suspect of it. Why? Because it may or may not be for you. It is not what you would give yourself. You are the quintessential essence of the all that is, that all will ever be, eternally, through infinitum. Not just this realm of time that we're in, and time doesn't exist, by the way. Neither does this realm. But that's another story. We're not going to get into that. So the question is, once again, is your heart as light as a feather? Because that's where we are now. We're in that time, Mayat. We're in the time of Mayat. That's why things are seeming so schizoid and haphazard and crazy, because it's getting back into balance. In order to balance, everything that's been out of balance has to be knocked all on its edge or flipped upside down. Clearly, you gotta know that. In order to achieve the balance and the synchronicity that is that source that is, it just is. That which has been created to be must be flipped. It's got to be turned on its ear, upside down, flipped around, because it is not the centered source of the all that is. It's an aspect of it. Absolutely, we can't say that it's nothing, or it's a part of it, but it's not the all of it. So as your heart is light as a feather speaks to Ma'at. And so in this point in time, this Ma'achian presence that is coming in, is getting stronger and stronger and stronger every day, every month, every year. It's getting stronger. And who knows, it's probably been going on since 2012, since who knows. They have no clue as to there is no idea that anyone can convince me of or tell you or anyone else of what time and space of time that we're in right now. They tell you about the calendars and all that. They don't know. We just going along. We agree to do something. We agree to be something. We agree, and that's it. So as your heart as light as a feather speaks to harmonizing and balancing in the presence of this source of all that is right now, the streaming consciousness that is transmutating or everything. They spoke about organisms that attacks and eats radiation. What they're not saying, and I don't know if they know or not, and maybe they do and they don't want you to know, everything that they're discovering is in you already. Everything. You have that ability. That's where we are today. Superhuman, that's what they call it. I call it nature. There's nothing superhuman about natural processes. We're naturally processing through this space with all that we ever will need for this space. And we graduated now. That's why I'm not here to tell you, oh, get this book, get that, all those different books to get. If you don't apply them with an open mind, keeps you locked into the third dimension. Let's be clear. Any resources that you are presently, currently, or in the future will be using to access or attempt to access your higher self serves to incarcerate you to a low frequency. They ain't gonna tell you that. Now, I don't know if they know. You can only depend on the essence of what it is in you to resonate with what is true for you. If you're doing it by any other means, you're not going to successfully transition through this period. Because we're going through this thing. We're not in this. We're not in it. We're in it, but not of it, I should say. And so we're passing through. This is a space and place that we're passing through. Just like the Star Trek ship that was going out in the galaxy and went all through wherever it was going. Perpetual motion. They didn't ever have to stop at a gas station. They didn't have to fill up. This is the energetic resonance that is you. You are an infinite, eternal being. Infinitely eternal, maybe not in the form that you're in, but your consciousness lives on way beyond and was here before your physical body. We must know these things, not be, they say, it ain't about what they say. What are you saying? And if you're saying something to yourself, or when you're saying something to yourself, what are you doing about what you're hearing? How are you familiarizing or allowing yourself, access to the source that's feeding and fueling you this information from within? Not the information outside of you. You listening to this is outside of you. However, if it resonates to something inside of you, then that's a cause for research within you. Not asking me what you need to do or how you need to go about it. I mean, you can. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just a thing. If you want someone to share with you, help build your confidence in you, I'm, I can be a cheerleader, but I'm not going to be depended on. It's not for you to depend on me. It's not for you to depend on anyone but yourself. You have it already. You have to know you have it already. So that means confidence. And the confidence comes with familiarity. And familiarity comes with you being insistent, consistent, deliberate with wanting to know. So how does your heart get light as a feather? You can't hold on to hatred. You can't hold on to any type of anger. You can't sit around and live your life or daily be mad. You can't look to find fault. You can't you can do what you want. However, there's a protocol that's at play in this time that we're in now. We are moving we're moving. We're moving. Everything is moving. There's constant movement with energy. Energy doesn't sit still. Even if I'm sitting here as still as I possibly can, there's still movement. And with that movement comes a resonant frequency that aligns with that movement. And if you're not aware, let's be clear. You can't hold on to hatred. You can't hold on to animosity. You can't look to find fault. You can't find issues and then create how you gonna pay somebody back for something they did yesterday, 10 years ago, 5 years. You can't hold them. Those are low frequency vibratory things that will keep you locked in your lower extremities of you. See, everything that's in you is expressed outside of you. If you have a desire to want to know something, at some point you'll be guided, magnetized, or taken to that place. Or you will find your space and place where that is. And you'll say, oh, I was just thinking about that. Oh, you know what I wanted to do? And here it is. So everything in you is expressed outside of you. And it's used as a tool to maintain your familiarity, a support system, gain confidence, to give you clarity. All that you are already, in essence, will never undermine itself. Will never undermine itself. Meaning, the soul that you are is not out to get you. There's nothing that can harm you. There's nothing to be afraid of. There's no reason for you to doubt or concern yourself with those things that has nothing to do with you. Now you can choose to want to be a part of it, and Black Lives Matter and march and go, storm the courthouse and let's go do. You can choose to do anything you want. Sovereign being. Sovereign being. The soul that you are is sovereign. It is not contained in the vessel that you see. However, what you see is a projection of its essence. It's a projected essence of its being as you are. It's projected. Your projection. Your holographic projection of light. So your heart must be light as a feather. Light being the optimal word. figuratively as well as literally. You cannot take the things with you that keep you locked and anchored to the third dimensional realm, which is the realm of duality. Adversary, constantly bickering, fighting, arguing. That does not make you light as a feather. You cannot transition to a higher frequency with low resonant thoughts. Energy, you cannot. You cannot. And what you do is you'll magnetize yourself to those low frequencies, continuing to hold on to those low resonant thoughts, actions, attitudes. All of what you are is everything that is. However, just like you can tell the weather and know when it's going to rain and prepare for, the summer days and the fall, or you, just like the changing of the seasons, we're in a different season. It's a different cycle. You must know this. They ain't gonna tell you because they don't want you to know. They need your energy. Who are they? The entities that wants to live. Everything is about living. Nothing is about being passé or the past. And you are everything, past, present, and future. You can contain within you all that you will ever need for whatever you need. Now you have to determine how you access it. You have to find a way to process it to where it works for you. Somebody has devised an ideas on how to keep it so that it works for them. Well, the paradigm that we were in was okay. It was easy to do. It was easy to compartmentalize. It was easy to separate and try to dictate this or that. And we say, do this. And this is how you do this. And when you do this way, you get this. For someone else's idea of what success was, you're in a time now where you are the success already. It doesn't matter what your plight in life is. You are a success. Half a billion sperms and only one that penetrates the egg, that's a success. And to go with that, you come here with foresight before your physical sight, before you could actually walk and talk. You already had a plan. You already have a plan. There's already a plan in place. Now you're in a cycle that is the harvesting of said plan. See, you may not hear this anywhere else, and it doesn't matter whether you accept what I'm saying, believe what I'm saying. That doesn't change what I'm saying. You cannot change what is already. This didn't happen 10 zillion times before. You're not going to stop it now. And neither is the system of things that is man-made. There's a feminine, principled, energetic wave that has taken over, is coming back to reclaim its own. Now, only those who are at that place of understanding, overstanding, and understanding know what I'm talking about. And it's okay if you don't. Maybe this ain't for you. Everything's not for everybody. Everybody don't like turnips. Everybody don't like fruit. Everybody don't like broccoli. So, what's the difference? Everybody's not going to want to do everything. And you are not going to understand that which you're not interested in. You're just not going to. And if you're thinking with a three-dimensional mind, which is what we've been conditionally programmed through, excuse me, then lower frequencies can't relate to higher resonance. But higher resonance can see through lower frequencies because it's gone through that space. Wherever that is, it's been there, done that, sold the t-shirt, bought the t-shirt, so was in the popcorn stand, running, selling cokes and drinks, concession stand, t-shirts. We got it. We've done it a gazillion times. This ain't nothing new. It's only new to those who choose to want to continue to sleep. They want to ignore what they know. They would like to get rid of and not be a part of this process. And they don't want to be a part of it. They just don't want to do what it takes to manage getting through it because of fear. Hey, listen, I'm just going to wait on Jesus. I mean, I'm just going to wait on, and people have been waiting on that for hundreds of years. And and it's okay. It's nothing wrong with anything you want to do. Just know that in order to be light as a feather, because that's the time we're in, you have to let go. All of that indoctrination and stuff that you've been given that's weighing you down, that's heavy on your shoulders, that feel like you're holding up the world with, you gotta let it go. That stuff doesn't help you. It does not allow you to number one, ascend, because it's a process. Number two, connect in harmony with the essence of you. It keeps you out of balance. It keeps you over too far to the left. Now people say, oh, you're so positive, and I'd rather be centered. If it means being positive to get myself back centered, then so be it. But I don't see it as being positive. I see it as being centered. Because I'm looking for the center. I want to ride the wave. I ain't trying to control it. I ain't trying to manipulate it. I'm not looking to do anything but allow it to take me wherever it's going. Allow it. Your heart being light as a feather goes with the wind. Whichever way it takes you. Now, understand, and overstand. The soul that you are will not undermine itself. So allow yourself to let go and just flow with it. But holding on to anger, finding fault with your neighbor or anyone, it's really a reflection of how you feel about yourself. If you're uncomfortable with someone being in your house because they're a crackhead, don't let them in. Don't find fault and talk about them. Just don't let them in. No, you can't. No, not today. I ain't feeling you today. Whatever. That's all. Make the decisions that will allow you to stand. But you don't use that as a crutch or an excuse to justify finding fault, looking to criticize and ridicule. You're not light as a feather when you do that. You're not practicing, because this is the other part of it. What you do daily is what you are eternally. What you do daily is what you are eternally. If you're consistently finding fault, consistently looking for something to be wrong, pointing out issues, and oh, you're not perfect because, and this is not perfect because, then that imperfection that you think you noticed in someone else speaks to probably 100 or 10 times 100 in you. Everything's a reflection of everything else. So all that you're exposed to and have experiences with in your life, your daily goings and comings, is a direct reflection of what is in you. Now you may like it, you may not like it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change what I'm saying, whether you like it or, oh, I don't believe that. You don't have to believe it. I'm not asking you to believe anything. I'm not here to debate anything. It's not about a debate. What I've experienced is what I've experienced. What you've experienced is what you just experienced. And the results are based on the intention of your heart. This is the time we're in. What's being revealed is the heart's intention. Now, is it light as a feather? Because if you hold in anger and animosity and you have this guilt, because that's what the Bible teaches you, to feel guilty about everything, and you're not good enough for nothing. And the devil this and the devil that, and there's something wrong with. So you carry that. You can't take that with you to the next level, to the next dimensional step, jump. You can't, that won't catapult you to the next phase. You will not get there with that, holding on to that, thinking that that's how it's going to be in heaven. You're in heaven. Now it could be hell, but it's you determine what it is. Your heaven can be hell and my hell can be heaven. It's on you. And if only you see what you see based on what somebody else is telling you, just know they don't have the answers for you. I don't have the answers for you. Only you have the encoding, and only you can only you have the keys to unlock you. And you, the source of the all that you already are, is waiting on you to access, interrelate, build a relationship with, become confident in, raise your self-esteem, because all that's been conditionally programmed in the opposite direction, because that's all they know. If someone is talking about savages and they're savage and these people are savage and this group is savage, guess what? Guess who the savage is? Guess who is the savagery? Where is that coming from? The individual that's expressing and espousing that, they're the savage. You're not a savage. You can be, but then you have the potential for so many other things. The potential, that is the quantum field of possibilities. You play in that field, not in the limited field of Earth, not in the limited field of America. Oh, I need to go back to Africa. You can go to Africa. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with nothing you want to do. However, if you think the only way you're going to be happy is you do something like that, go somewhere else, whatever, it doesn't change the question, are you light as a feather? Because that speaks to the intention of your heart. That speaks to, what you hold dear. What is really sincerely, authentically true about you. because that's where we are. That's what's being exposed. The truth and the authenticity of everything is being exposed now. That means people, places, things, you name it, government, everything. Everything is being exposed. And that's the time we're in. Because it has to be exposed to see, in order to reunite and resonate at its highest, or resonate in a harmonistic balance for the time that we're in, for the paradigm that we're in, for the shifting that we've been moved into. All the other stuff's got to be revealed, exposed. We have to see everything for what it really is. We can't be no longer lie to ourselves and lie to others. So your heart's being light as a feather mean you have to have now integrity. You have to speak with authority around the truth of whatever it is in the moment that it is. You cannot hold on trying to fool and trick and, you know, beat somebody out of something. And I grew up in the streets. I hung out. I know what it's about. Yeah, and it's not, you know, it's not a healthy lifestyle, thought process, constant actions. You're not happy with that. You're just doing what you think you have to do in order to survive. Well, guess what? We've been here a couple of gazillion years. We've survived. And we will always. We not only survive, we're now in a space where we can live. And if you're not putting your efforts, energy, and ideas towards living, enjoying the life you live, having peace in this life that you live, harmonizing and in balance with a life that's worth living, you're a divine being. Everything is divine. Everything that's happening is divinity in motion. You're a process or a part of that. So you being, your heart being light as a feather only allows you to transition. Get it? Transition. Another way to say that old thing has to die. You can't carry a dead carcass into the next phase of life, into the next phase of eternity. We're in a stage and a phase that is not like what it was. And if you want to hold on to that, then you'll die along with that, because that's dead. Just be clear on it. It looks, and make a decision, right or wrong, up or down. It's up to you. But just know you are responsible for the decisions that you make. And that means some level of consciousness has to go with it, with the decision you make. You must know. So is your heart light as a feather? You know, are you holding people hostage with ego tripping and trying to make them succumb to your will? Who are you? Other than someone for you, not for them. We have to know these things, family. And so I just wanted to say, is your heart as light as a feather? It's rhetorical. You don't have to prove anything, tell me anything, you know, get back with me. Although if you want to communicate with me, you can do that on voice of C at protonmail.com. Voice of C at protonmail.com, for now anyway. And you know, just know it's all love. Peace.